Here's a Radisson there at the back along the edge. You need to go around it. It will be a very narrow path. We go out here into the forms and cross the road here. Here the sign is Laser Jess, and we move away from Radinus along this street and go straight to a couple of intersections, there to the right, and reach a parallel street here. There will be a stall here, where the bus card is replenished. Friends, I'm recording a fresh video for the 23rd year, February. I show you where the stop is on Mount Erciyes. It is located there behind that mosque, and the stall where the map is sold is in this red stall. The cost of one card is at least 35 lire, and a maximum of 5 trips can be thrown. In total, we were given 38 lire for one trip, multiplied by 5. In short, I paid 165 lire. You can't get on a minibus without a map. You definitely need a map. Right now we are just behind this tower, and there will be posters with the time of departure to the mountain. Here a minibus stops near the mosque, and here it is an extinct volcano Jace. Parking to get to the ticket office. Here you need to climb the ladder.
Чтобы дойти до кассы, вот здесь по лесенке нужно подняться.
Here it is, the volcano itself, the mountain of the Ruzeme. Anya is standing here in a summer suit. Here's the cash register right away. The cost is 30 cents. Well, basically they say 30 should be taken and 475 lira as the current price. Tomorrow I'll take 2 cards of 475. All the clothes are there, a sled. Here is the area for sledges. Dude, he just tore down the fence now. The sled is on fire at all. Just huge. Well, you're going to drink snow now, then you'll go back to bed with your kidneys. Yeah, you can't hear me, hats. It's -7 degrees outside. In principle, it's not cold in Euphoria. The wind is only icy blowing, and it's generally warm. And he's in sneakers, jeans, and underpants for 5 hours. How many? 6 o'clock in the evening. Everyone has already left quickly. Now the main thing is they said that the minibuses have to be in time before 7. Although not according to the schedule. According to the schedule, it is written until 8. Now I'll show you where the minibus stops. It is necessary to go down here and over there, they said. And there they are driving away. There he went. Minibuses. Who is this furry lying around here? Kuzyanka. Hello, Pushkinchik. Well, you're lying here, and I went. Come on. We'll meet in the evening. I went to the station Hajilarchik here such that on the other part of the mountain it turns out on the right side. Let's be careful. There's a fierce descent here. In general, guys, let me summarize. I found this indoor heated lift only on the second day. Somehow I didn't get here for the first time. Here are the funniest slides, long. In general, in principle, all the slides are in the palm of your hand. You're riding a lift, you see, yeah, I want to go there, I want to come here, oop, hang on. That's what I want to say. I want to pay special attention to the snow. Yes, this one is like Allah free right, it is very dangerous. In short, I knocked out my arm without knowing it. Even at first I thought I had broken it at all, I just didn't feel it. I lost at least 60 at full speed. I thought now I'm going a little bit down into a snowball and my right leg just started to go a little deeper into the snow, and the snow is just dense, so dense and plus the skis are not greased yet. 2. You pay special attention to the surface that you have all this greased. Check if it's shit on the snow, skis slide refuse or go then lubricate there so that the edges are normally all sharpened on skis. Everything plays a very important role. How you will crash and turn so that the skis do not slip off. Here is a straight slide here. There it is already in the shadow of its beginning. There is a sharp descent there, as if not for beginners at all. Here I do not know how this sector calls, probably then shorter. If you look at the mountain, there it is a mountain, it turns out from the road where the bus stop is. Look at the mountains, and the leftmost one is this lift practically. There is also the leftmost one there. There are such light slides, but this one is the center one. There aren't many people here, by the way. These are such cool tracks, and I really like the track with such a cool rollout. There it's cool to really carve, to learn carving by turning. The coolest track in my opinion. I recommend it from myself. On that part, it's better not to study there like concrete, it's just that people are right, even here is a good lie concrete. Here you really drive like everything slides on concrete, skis slide off very much, it doesn't work for carvy to fall very painfully. Here's what else to tell. There are very few people, in principle, there are no queues. There are no queues. The highest lift to the very top of the mountain is called an ataman, in my opinion. They are all behind the windy weather. Despite the sunny weather, Ruzeme is a very wind-dependent resort. This is very important, pay attention to this. You plan in advance, as if you weigh everything, all the risks. By the way, there is not enough snow this year. Because of this, the Coral Company cancelled charters with Russia here. Everything, I put it correctly, was cancelled because of little snow, like it's unpopular in winter, but nevertheless you can ride, but purely on the tracks. I advise you only on the tracks, do not climb into the non-tracks, such a pleasure. I went to Sharagesh, there's a real buzz there. Here is this chubby. Here is this soft snowball, you fell on a fig, even at high speed you will be dragged there 100 meters still rolled and it doesn't hurt, and here it's very dangerous. For the first time in my life I fell on my elbow at full speed, if not my special training, and I constantly went to fitness. Yes, my joint, so that he abandoned it for 6 months, but all the same, the muscles are still in good shape. Be sure to do exercises, stretching after the trainer. After skiing, after a skating day, and it's better to have physical shape. If you want extreme speed, yes, you need powerful legs, strong ones to drive at speed. I have such a problem. My muscles are cramping right away quickly, that is, I can't drive for a long time, so I throw magnesium, especially magnesium. To magnesium was absorbed better. In my opinion it needs to be bought with B6 100%. Yes, magnesium plus B6. What else to add to the resort? What else? What else? In cafes, I recommend eating only where there are prices and at least some kind of picture. Yes, or look at what people eat in general like this at a glance. In short, if you go to a cafe without 100% price, this kind of bullshit has already happened twice. You come in, you think that in Turkey, as it were, a relatively acceptable price tag, even for someone there in cheap relative to probably Russia, but to the maximum, just to the maximum, everything counts to you and everything else that can be added, what else? In general, it's cool, there are a lot of trails for every taste. But fans of freeride forests there, yes, it will probably be a little boring. There is 100% chance to accelerate here. The slides are very long, the length of the trails here is straight general, it is huge, something in my opinion even surpasses 100 kilometers. I want to tell you about my injury received on the mountain of the Russian railways on one of the tracks. The track is actually, well, the most ordinary. Here. I want to share so that you don't repeat my mistakes. If I had known that, for sure I would not have experienced such a fate. In short, my experience is basically quite good. I quickly learned to ski, carve, and so on. That is, in Sharagesh I drove from the forehead, that is, in general, I was in extreme, you can say, through the forest on the second day in my life I went to Sharagesh. In general, I've seen enough of all sorts of moments and bumps like that, who knows, in Sharagesh there is a track with huge bumps under the lifts, I was running around there like crazy. Well, neat, not like a freak, neat, of course. In short, I'm telling you, I think it's clear from experience. Everything was smooth here in general, I'm just ridiculously banal in general. A friend of mine was injured once. Out of the blue there was a trauma center in Sharagesh, where people received injuries for 8 to 10 years of skating experience and everything happens in general as if unexpected. I tell you what I had. Generally about Borges, yes, in the tracks. The tracks are like this, they are frozen, there is little snow on them, and if there is, then it is so very, very dense. This is not the puffy man who gave this airy snow in Sharagesh. Here. As you can see, I have a hand. I'll probably go to the hospital tomorrow. Here, so far it is tolerable. I don't even know what happened to the hand, but now I'll tell you everything as it was, well, just like it is, live. In general, the background, yes, the snow is very dense and many times I have been in a situation where skis fly under the snow. In principle I am physically developed, I regularly attended fitness 3 times a day. And it is today that I have not visited him for 6 months until this moment. That is, the muscles have already lost a little bit of tone. Nevertheless, this is the muscular backbone, the foundation. I have a good one. Here. Maybe it saved me from breaking some fiercer, yes, people collarbone. The speed was just fucking amazing. In general, there were situations when my ski flew under the snow and I just pulled it out there at the expense of the muscle, as if I always controlled this moment, drove off the track into the snow at full speed and as if yes. Here. But there are other slightly different conditions, which I did not suspect. Everything together played this role. And I will clearly name 3 factors at once. The first factor is poor ski maintenance. First of all, they did not slide well. I felt it when I was sliding down snow, even some snow thrown from carving. I was running over skis and felt how the speed was slowing down. I mean, you didn't lubricate yourself. It's more to the service, yes, where you rent. Be sure to pay attention so that the skis are lubricated. Ideally, they were lubricated with you. They showed there that everything, this is an important point in fact. So that the edges are good, not blunt, sharp, so that you can cut through this concrete surface that is frozen somehow, so that you don't slip off. But that's not the point here. And the third point is the compacted snow here. Yes, he is not so plump and here he is a little compacted, although the wind is constantly blowing in Norges and the snow just blows off the track like that. I thought it was the same moment that I was driving just along the highway, I accelerated. Well, in short, as they say, on straight legs, yes, I was riding there in a rack, respectively, and just at maximum speed. And I see that a little bit of snow has blown away from the right side and not a little bit like this, maybe a little bit. I decided to drive a little bit in the snow like this. Here. But the speed was at least 60. I know very well what speed is when driving a car. At least 60 exactly, the speed was unambiguously. In short, I'm skiing down into this snowball and I immediately felt my skis start to slow down sharply. And at first they didn't slow down much, I did something else. I was already preparing for the fall. I had a backpack on my back. Over there. In general, I got the right one, so now I remember in detail from memory, the right ski went under the snow most of all. Plus, my foot was raking this compacted hard snow, probably, yes, but I'm not downloading some kind of wooden, it's just really dense. In short, I get a little bit of torque, I'm already falling and the feeling is that you imagine in a traffic jam abruptly when the taxi driver brakes there, so I have the same effect and I just dive forward. My mistake was also that I was probably on a slope in this snow. I thought I was going to lie down now, it would be soft, but it's not. I had to sit down a little, maybe the center of mass was a little lower, I wouldn't have thrown me so sharply forward. Because of the sudden braking, I don't just throw forward, and I fall. At first I thought I landed on my elbow, and then I moved. And in fact, now I remember, I most likely fell, probably broke something or dislocated my shoulder, it would have flown out to me. What did I feel? I most likely fell after all. I put most of this on this concrete track, but frozen with this part. That is, my biceps aches a little, that is, in any case, either the muscle rupture is serious, I can't lift my arm like this in the side, I can't go forward. But in general, I sort of rotate, as if on normal calmness, normally. Let's go for an MRI scan, see something. But, in short, guys, I fell from the blow, I was definitely twisted onto the track like this 2 times, that is, my skis remained 10 meters from the fall from behind. I fell and at the moment of impact I felt that my hand was out of place. I thought I'd lost it altogether. She somehow lived apart from me in these milliseconds. And I would immediately feel this pain. A little bit, for a moment it went dark in my eyes. I'm lying on my back on the track, lifting like this at the expense of their I don't know, some muscles or in a state of this shock. I raise my hand up like this and I feel, it just kind of dangled. It feels as if she has become somehow unrelated, she lives by herself. In general, I somehow managed to lie on my back. There are still few people by the way, no one drove up. And I yelled just a little bit like that, but because it was more serious. And I raised my hand and I felt as if it had fallen into place under its own gravity. It's like this, when people are probably pulling their hand there, I somehow left, I don't know, to straighten it out and they have such ease after. The lightness is such, yes, so I felt at this moment that I had a hand like okay. Like this, I had a glimpse in my head that, like, the river is okay. And that's about it. And I got up, I understand that it doesn't seem to be a fracture. My arm bends like this, everything is okay. Yes, but I can't do a side 100% severe bruise, at least I got it. Anterior deltas with biceps 100%. That is, with my whole body weighing 78 kilograms, I flew at a fucking speed. I just fell down. Here. Well, I didn't have any sticks, I didn't have anything. They are not there, I will immediately throw them out and in the thick it turns out that I fell myself at high speed. In short, what kind of mistake? This. Although before that I was driving down in the snow, this snow was powdered and I seemed to be driving it normally, but I felt that the skis were poorly lubricated, just that bad. And when I was waiting for Anya on the slope, for me, if you just stand there for 4 or 5 seconds, I felt like it was a little hard with places, such a delay. When the snow stuck, then all the skis were not greased according to the weather. The weather is really blowing somewhere, the wind is turning into concrete there, somewhere this snow is here for cars, plus here are all sorts of different pebbles somewhere, but this, I don't know, was not a problem for me. For me, it became this problem that the skis did not slip normally. It turns out that somehow I could not under the snow, although the skis did not go deep at all. She went maybe 15 centimeters just under the snow. And then he came back, analyzed. I thought that I layered either grass or rocks under the right ski, but this is not the case. I punched this place right here with a stick. I had a ski in the snow, that's just under such a small 15, a maximum of 20 straight, well, that's the maximum. A layer of snow. Something like that. Be sure to make sure that the equipment is lubricated in the weather. Here, and I'd rather watch one of the videos, professional guys carry paraffin with them. He says, don't be lazy, carry a piece of paraffin wax with you and feel something is no longer the same, lubricate your skis, everything is okay. Here. As a child, I remember we had such ointments, they're from -5 to 0 there in plus weather. When I was doing cross-country skiing back in my school years, I lubricated these. Constantly, my father taught me, lubricated the skis with these Soviet ointments and felt the difference cardinally. That's it. In short, this is the situation. Don't think you're a super professional or anything. Such a combination of circumstances can be a really fatal mistake. Here. Okay, I was still wearing a helmet. By the way, I have the helmet. I don't remember staying. Didn't stay. Yes, on my head. But I've definitely done 2 somersaults like this, maybe even more. That is, I still tumbled over my sore arm like that. And at the moment of these somersaults, I felt how she lives her life simply. Here, and when I was able to lift it in some way, I realized that not everything was lost, and somehow without crunches, without everything, somehow clap. That's how it got easier inside there. I don't know if it was a dislocation or a bruise, what is it? Or some kind of stretching. But stretching is difficult to say here. Here, most likely, the strongest blow is simple. Here perhaps, now I have not swollen a little too much. Edema, in short, edema. Here. In Turkey, there is expensive medicine here. I will return to my city. I have insurance there and will apply at the place. I will definitely see what happened there, because health is very important. Thank you all. I hope everyone will be fine. All the best and money.
И баба.